Hi everyone, this is Tammy, owner of Worthyworthitpriceless, and today's podcast is titled Hold On to Them. And it is also part of a relationship talk, so it's about a relationship. So I believe, I can't remember if it was like the third or the fifth grade. So yeah, this is going all the way back. And at the time, I was dating, I'm just going to use their initials. I was dating this guy. His initial was B, and he was so nice. He was so sweet. He was like Valentine's Day came around, and he gave me a card. He gave me a little rose or whatever, and he gave me like some chocolates or something. And my mom would let him call the phone, but it's like we had to sneak and not let my dad know that that the guy was called. But he was such a sweetheart. And one day, I think I took that boy through the ringer. I don't even know, but karma did come back. But either way, so it was around, I don't remember. So anyway, this other guy, K, we'll say his initial was, he seemed like one day that he liked me. So I was like, man, okay. So what I ended up doing, I didn't cheat on B, but you'll see. And so what ended up happening is I broke up with B, which was stupid, but I broke up with B, and I ended up, so I told K, I was like, yeah, I like you too, or whatever. And then Kay was like, oh, she think I like, he was telling somebody else. He was like, she think I like her. I was just playing. We was just playing. I don't really like you like that. I was like, ain't that about enough? And it was like, so it was just like one of those types of things. It was like I got a lesson in that very early. And that was like the last time I would ever do something like that. But either way, I said all of that to say, if you have someone good, hold on to them. The grass isn't greener on the other side. Thank God I learned that lesson as a kid, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean it didn't hurt as much. So what ended up happening was B started liking like one of my friends type of thing. So everything that he would do for me, I know I learned lessons very early in life. Everything he did for me, he started doing for my friend type of thing. And I was like, okay. And our relationship or friendship, whatever, was never the same. Like, he was very mean towards me, cold, and I understood. But it was just the point that it happened. And, yeah, I learned that very early. So, yeah. But the thing about it is, back to the subject of the podcast, is that if you have someone who is good to you, treat them right. Treat them with respect. Love them. Do right by them. I know other people might come around and they may act like how Kay acted towards me. What ended up happening was, I think we were going somewhere. You know how you just walking outside or something like that. And he was telling this other guy, oh yeah, Tammy is good. She look good. Da, 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 da. And it was just like, at the end of the day, like I said, he was like, oh, I was just playing. We were just playing. And it's like, and that's funny because, not funny, but you know what I mean. It's how certain things happen nowadays. People will see that you're in a relationship. They'll see that you're happy or married for some of you guys. And at the end of the day, they act like they want to be with you. And then you drop everything. You possibly break up with your spouse, or you start signing divorce papers that you never thought that you were ever going to sign, or you break up with your mate, and then you try to make something work with this person. And the next thing that happens is they're like, oh, I was just playing. I ain't wanting to be with you. Like, people don't care about breaking up your household or anything. They just, for some people, it's a thrill. It's a game. Let's see if this person will leave this person for me, or this, that, and the third. Causing chaos in your life. And for what? just to say that they did. So if you have someone who is down for you, somebody that really loves you, don't leave them for a one-night stand or somebody who's definitely never going to be in your life. Temptation is a lot, but that person that is with you and riding for you, that's forever. And that's what you're going to need in the tough times. If this situation in life right now, quarantine, COVID, all that, if it hasn't taught you anything, you need solid people around you, somebody that's going to be with you, ride with you, through the ups and downs of life. And just because somebody makes you mad for a second doesn't mean that they don't love you. It's a relationship. It's not going to always be, lollipops and all of that. It's not going to be happiness all the time. And you have to be able to deal with the ups and the downs. That's what relationships are. Just because things don't go your way, it's not time for you to pout. It's not time for you to throw in the towel because you had one argument or call that one person that's in your DM or something like that. A lot of times you just have to buckle down with your mate. Do right by them. Not seek a outside relationship because of a fantasy or something like that. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times when you're in relationships, it gets ugly. And then you might meet somebody that might make you feel a different type of way. Like how my K kind of did, like even for a second. And then what ends up happening is it's momentarily because it's a fantasy. Because when you think about it, when you see, just say if you're going to cheat on whoever you're dating, the person that you're cheating on them with, when do they see you? When your hair is cut, you look nice, you smell nice, you got the nice clothes and this, that, and the third. The person that you're with, they see you when you're sick. They see you when you're grumpy, you're up and down and all that stuff. But the person, your fantasy person or whatever, the one that you're cheating with, they always see you at the good times. A lot of times they can't deal with what the person that you're sleeping with, your mate or whatever, what they see, because they don't never see that. They only want to see you when you're happy, when you look good, you smell good, because that's all that they see. And yes, they're listening to your problems that you have with your mate, but they don't have to deal with it. And a lot of times they're just there for a good ride. They're not there for what your mate is there for. So when you leave your mate for the fantasy, that's when reality hits. And like, man, you don't really do what my mate does. Why? Because they only see you when you're up. They don't have to deal with your dirty drawers. They don't have to deal with you being sick or nothing like that, because you're never really around them when you're sick. You show them the best version of you. That's why it's a fantasy. And then, like I said, if you leave your mate, they see the whole part of you, and it's like, and you see the whole part of them, and it takes away from the fantasy. Why? Because now it's reality. And the same thing that your mate complains about, now your fantasy is complaining about the same thing. Why? Because now they see the full picture. So, if you have somebody good, hold on to them. We live in a society now that good people is hard to find. Very hard to find. If you have somebody that's loyal, who's doing right by you, they may not do everything perfectly. No one will. Trust me. But if they're there for the ride and they're at least trying, match their efforts. So they're not doing everything just by themselves. Maybe you could do a little bit more. It's a relationship. It's two people. It's a couple coming together It's two becoming one type of thing. Make it work as much as possible. Yes, you may have downsides, but that doesn't mean that it's okay to go out and find someone new. Okay? So, with that being said, you have somebody good, hold on to them. Remember why you fell in love with them. Maybe change your mindset, change your perspective. Don't break their heart momentarily because you're upset. So until next time, just know that you are worthy, worth it, and priceless. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.